anything that's going through. But however, he is we're having technical difficulties, so
Okay.
I'm trying to get him back.
Okay.
So, but until
Okay.
then,
Yeah. Let's.
yeah, I'm at the store.
Okay, great. So what else do we have on the minds of our people tonight?
Hey, Jane, it's Stacey Williams. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Stacey. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I got two questions.
Okay.
The first one is, where are you at? I'm trying to figure out what restaurant you're at.
Oh, girl, don't you be trying to figure out where I am.
So you know what? You can just drop me a direct DM if you want to.
Okay.
Okay. The second thing is,
Uh-huh.
look, it's all about supporting local, right? That's
Yes.
what it is.
Uh-huh. That's right.
But the other thing is, I wanted to share my company. They're going to be, they're looking for nonprofits or basically companies, even small businesses that need office furniture. Because we just did like a major renovation in our corporate campus on Piedmont. I work at Rollins.
Okay.
And they asked me today if I had knew any companies that need furniture. So anyone who has a small business or whatever, if you need like office chairs or if you need even like cubicles and that sort of thing, like the whole makeup.
I need an office chair.
You need an office chair? Okay. Yeah, definitely let me know. And then that way I can forward the information to you all when they're gonna have their next event where you can kind of go and shop in so many words.
Oh, really? Okay.
Can you send it to me in an email, and if possible, can you get like a couple of pictures that we can send it out?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, good.
But would you explain to them what Rollins is? So people just know, the company that you work for. You just threw out Rollins. I don't know if everybody knows Rollins, and so
I know, right? So that's a long story. I'll put it this way. I'll make it as short as possible. Is everyone familiar with Orkin? Orkin Pest Control? Okay. Northwest Pest Control, Critter Control, True Tech, all of those companies. All of those companies fall under Rollins. They are part of Rollins family of brands. They're all pest control companies, and Rollins acquires pest control companies and is the parent company. So I work in their corporate office, and that is located off of Piedmont. You remember when the bridge was on fire on 85, Highway 85?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's basically where the office is up there. And yeah, it's a pretty big corporate campus, and that's the headquarters. So,
oh, very good.
Yep.
And thank you for that information. So we'll be looking forward to it because I'm gonna need an office chair.
Yeah, definitely.
Miss Stacey, while we're waiting for our speaker to come on, do you want to give an update of your last committee meeting with the city?
Oh, the economic development board meeting that took place last Monday.
Yes, I think that's what.
I can. Of course, this was the kickoff for 2024. We went through, our agenda consisted of some of the notables that took place in 2023. Everything from a available land or partials within the city of South Fulton. There was a tour that that notables took. I'm not sure if Corey was on that tour. I think he knew about it, but I'm not 100% sure. But we were talking about how we had potential developers coming in and looking at the city of South Fulton. We also had the Impact Awards for 2023. That was the first of its kind that celebrated small businesses within the city, within our city. And those impact awards, it was a full house. And of course, there were some, political folks there, but a lot of it had to do with people within South Fulton that want to see change. So yes, we talked about the impact awards. We also talked about the Economic Development Board, how we went to Savannah earlier this year and how we made an impact, because immediately everyone was looking at South Fulton like, all we hear is the negative on the news about South Fulton. You guys don't have anything else going on there. Well, contrary to their belief, because we were represented in such a way that after that conference, cities from across Georgia are trying to have conversations with us to determine how they can either collaborate with our city or how we may be able to tap into some of the resources that they may have and they may offer. It really was just a matter of being able to have open and courageous conversations. So that was the conference that we went to, Georgia Economic Development Association conference earlier this year. And then we also talked about 2024, just the things that are on the agenda. We have plenty of developments that are coming our way. And the fact that we want to scrutinize those that are coming into our city. Our board, I can tell you, we are so citizen and constituent focused. It is unbelievable. I am going to step out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that I know that our city council, besides Corey, because the statement I'm about to say is our council, they say that they are focused on the constituents. And of course, some of the things that they do are, but like Corey, like our board, we actually think about the general person, the neighbor that lives right next door or down the street, and what they want and what they don't want. And when developers or people that are interested in our city come in and they want to turn a piece of land into something that's not going to benefit us, we're going to go in. We're totally going to go in. And when I say we're going to go in, we are going to ask those difficult questions that back up that developer, that makes them have to rethink, I'm going to get some pushback here. So the next time I present, I better come correct. So that is to say what we're doing for 2024. We're going to continue doing that. We don't have to be told to do it, because we're just going to do it because we know that's the right thing to do. And anyone on this call, I put it out there that if there is anything that that I can do to assist, I'm totally open, for conversations. The first Tuesday of every month, we have our board meetings, and we welcome the community to come and listen to what we do. We have citizens' comments. We do not do a whole bunch of back and forth, because what we want to do is we want to listen. We want to make sure that the constituents know that they have a place to come and mention what is important to them, because whether it's known or not, that statement that's made, we're going to keep that for the other decisions that come across our plate for later on in the year, whenever it comes up. We always take that into consideration. So I think other than that, we had a few other things that we discussed, but for the most part, that was it. That was it, Tamika.
Well, thank you, Stacy. Let me ask you this. So is
somebody get us some grants or get off some grants or business grants?
Business grants?
Was that your
Nothing, Corey, that's where I'm gonna turn back to you because no. There was there was a, wasn't it 500,000 in grants? I'm sorry, I'm just finishing eating. There was 500,000 plus in grants awarded last week, Wednesday. I believe I had a meeting that was called that I had to take, so I could not attend. But yeah, can you mention that because I wasn't able to attend that?
how did? Okay, well, I have a question about that too. Whenever,
go ahead,
Corey.
Jane.
Okay, so you said a lot here, a lot of good information. So with the grant, how were they distributed, or because I mean, and how did the information get out about the grants? Do you know that? Probably not.
You know what? I wish I did, Jane.
Yeah, it's okay.
This
It's
was,
okay.
I mean, and it was something that was in the making. It was in the works. It wasn't something that just pulled out the sky. You know what I mean? Like next thing you know, they're just giving free money.
I can give you a quick overview. The grants were given to 33 organizations within the city of South Fulton. It was the American Rescue Plan Act funding from COVID, companies that were in existence in 2020 and 2021 that were impacted by COVID and lost income was the criteria. And so those companies that applied were awarded anywhere from a minimum of 10,000 to a maximum of 20,000. And notably, one was the our historic fish place on Old National. Lord Jesus, I'm driving. What's the seafood place on Old National?
Is that Fulton Bay Seafood?
No, Old National.
Oh, Old National. I'm sorry.
The crab pot.
Thank you. Anyway, and so they have not received their checks yet. They just did the ceremony, and so they're in the process of issuing that funding now. But I don't want to. Is your speaker here, Corey?
No, look like Corey said he wouldn't be able to get back on. Is that correct, Corey?
Yeah, I put in the chat that he was unable to rejoin.
Okay, so Stacy, I have another question. You know, this board, so you meet on the first Tuesday at what time and what's the location?
Old National Highway, the South Fulton Development Authority, Economic Development Office. Right next to if you know where LA Fitness is.
Yeah, 6385. Okay, I got that address. Okay.
Yep, right there. It's right in between the Family Dollar and Marshall's, I believe.
Right.
So yeah, it's right in there. And we meet at 6 o'clock. We make it 6 because we know people work.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying.
Right. Okay. And so on that board, so is there a particular area you serve or you just serve on the economic development board?
I represent District 5, but there are board members from all districts, all of ours. So at any given time, we're talking about information that is relevant to our total city.
Well, that's good, and I'm glad that you all are challenging the the builders who wants to come to our city, because I don't think they've been challenged enough. So I think that's good.
Yeah, and I would have to agree. And my board members, they we, like I said, we have the experience on our board. Of course, we have lawyers, we have financiers, we have developers, we have the money people, we have the real estate agents. Yeah, we have all of that. I pride myself, and I'm glad that Corey recommended me to the board, because my background is in diversity and equity. So when it comes to, once again, the common man, everyone knows District 5 is going to come with the questions that nobody's really asking, because at the end of the day, we have to live here. And when the building goes up and they've made their money and gone, what does that mean for us? So,
trouble. Most of the time, trouble.
But you know what? Sometimes it's good trouble. Sometimes. I mean, hey, MLK, right? John Lewis, good
John
trouble.
Lewis, that's right. Good trouble.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, I look forward to seeing, you know, what you all have coming to the city, because we definitely need some type of good infrastructure here in the city of South Fulton.
Yep. And once again, anytime someone wants to come and sit in and even make a comment, you're more than welcome to. First Tuesday of every month, and a communication always goes out, a public notice. And yeah, it's at 6:00. And the citizens' comments normally takes place, I want to say, within the first 10 to 15 minutes of the meeting starts. So you really want to be there at 6 to be able to sign in. And then yeah, they take place about like 6:15, 6:20.
Great. Well, thank you. Do anybody else have any questions for Miss Stacy and the Economic Development Board? Okay, well, sound like you did a great job. So you're welcome. Thank you. And what else do we have on the minds of our people tonight? It's a lot going on out there. Nothing?
No, I have a question. The Tamiko, for those on the call, we should still be, you know, I know, you know, it is what it is. Corey is still with us, and he always is going to be. Shouldn't we still be going to city council meetings? Shouldn't we still represent?
Absolutely.
In 2016, back then he had virtually no operation here on the ground. This time, a totally different story. The Trump campaign operation.
Miss Fairwood, can you mute your phone, Miss Johnson? Miss Johnson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, thank you. Oh, but definitely, we should always be going to the city council meeting so we can still know what's going on, because at the city council meeting, that is where you find out who has received a permit, when those permits will be, you know, when they're passed, or if they're not passed, or if there's discussions about those permits from a business or, you know, a developer or whoever it is. So that's where we find out this information. So we should always be going, you know, whenever we can. And you can always be on Zoom as well with those city council meetings. So, and I stepped down from the organization because I felt like I wasn't in attendance at the council meeting enough, because my organization met on the same night. So I stepped down. And so last Tuesday was the first time I was able to sit in the meeting without leaving, but I left at 9:00. But it just felt great to be able to be there and to hear the information, you know. And then if you have questions about something, then, you know, you can always go to your city council person and ask them these questions, or bring the questions back to this meeting, Thrive, and we can talk about it. So I think it's always good to attend those meetings. And in District 5, we have a set of condos that are going up on Fairwood. Well, I thought they were going to be on the agenda for last Tuesday, but I think on the 23rd is when it goes to the city council and they will approve or not approve. those the developers condos. So do you know about that, Stacy?
I would have to pull some of our last meeting notes, but I vaguely recall discussing it. Yeah, I vaguely recall that. Can we do two things, Jane? Can we also remind everyone the rotation of the city council calls? And also I do want to put this in there. We are pushing our city council people to stop always accepting developers' proposals. So
exactly.
I say all that to say a lot of these things come without us knowing about it.
That's exactly
and
right.
We, within our retreats, we let our city council people know, look, if that goes through and if it comes across our desk, it better have it better be what we want in this city, because
exactly.
they're gonna have to go a hard way. And you're gonna start noticing that at those city council meetings, our city council members are gonna start asking questions differently. Just pay attention. That's all I can say. Just pay attention.
I think it's about time. And I also think that the city council, some of these developers that they approve, I think that they should have gone to the land or the property themselves before they approve the developers request or permit. Because when I went to the property at 5510 Fairwood, you know, there's certain trees or things out there that I felt like, okay, if he says he's going to keep this or he's going to get rid of it or he's going to plant trees. Now, you know, trees grow up. And I just think that, you know, we need to understand what type of trees that are being planted and to know some history of that tree. Because, you know, once these trees grow up, you know, it's hard for, if you don't maintain them while they're growing, then they become an issue, you know, with our sewer lines and different stuff like that. And so I just think they need to visit the property before they approve it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you wanted to know the rotation of the city council meeting. You mean in reference to where it's going to be held?
The cadence, like the second week, third week, just so that all
it's
of
the
us
second and fourth. Right, it's the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. That's correct, isn't that right, Corey? Second and fourth Tuesday, and normally it starts at 4 p.m. But you know, from 4 until most of the time. You might be in there at 10 o'clock at night, but it starts at 4 p.m. And the first week that is held, the first Tuesday that is held, which is the second Tuesday, is normally at Welcome All Park. And then it goes to the next time that is held, it goes to Southwest. But I believe they're going to start having the meetings at Stonewall Tail altogether. So I need to check on that to make sure. Excuse me. And I haven't eaten. So Stacey, you said you had eaten, so I don't know where mine is coming from. But anywho, so I had to check and see, you know, if that's going to be the case where they're going to host those meetings at Welcome All Park from now on out. I'm not sure, but I think it would be good if it was in a location that was central to everyone, you know, like when it was at Stonewall Tail. And we used to have some real good meetings over there, and they used to be packed. But now, you know, you go from here to there, and sometimes people just, you know, get lost in the shuffle.
It gets confusing.
Yeah, it's very confusing. So,
but second and fourth Tuesday. So that's good to know.
Second and fourth Tuesday. Okay. Yes, starting at 4 o'clock. Okay. Okay. Any more questions tonight, or anything anybody else wants to talk about? So I know this year, 2024, is a big election year, right? And, we got some things going on in the news. And I just want to know some of y'all's opinion about it, because we are going to the polls to vote. And I hope that everyone is checking their voter registration. Now, every time I get on this call, I'm going to try to remind you all to always check your voter registration page, okay? Just so that you can make sure that you are still an active member or an active voter in order to vote, because, they kind of like, take us off of the voter registration page. So we want to make sure that we're always on that voter registration page, and that we're able to vote, and to make sure that we vote in the correct precinct in the right location, okay? So now lately it's been a lot of stuff on the news about our DA, Fulton County, which we are in Fulton County. And, I just want to know if we're aware of what's going on and how do we feel about that, because I'm not sure at this point, it's kind of early on, but if that will have an impact on when we go to the poll, because voting starts very early. So I want to know if you all are aware of what's going on with our Fulton County DA.
We're talking about Fonnie, right? Fonnie Willis?
Yeah, that's correct. Mm-hmm.
Good
Been in the
evening.
news lately. Hey, how you doing?
Good. This is Victoria.
Hey, Victoria.
So, the alleged affair, is that what you're referring to? So her alleged affair is not going to keep me from the poll.
Right.
It gets a little sticky. And I heard her, a little clip of her speaking in her church, and said she's a woman, but she's not perfect. I'm like, okay. So, I don't know.
Well,
I hate that it's becoming colorful like that it can't be clear cut. Like I'm upright, and this is what I did. So unfortunately, it's kind of colorful. I hate that, that it can't just be, just clear cut, unfortunately. And then when she said she's not perfect, that alluded to something else in my mind, that maybe there were some lines that were crossed. But then I will say, some people believe they can be professional, that won't affect their professional judgment. So, it's most unfortunate, but no, it will not keep me from the poll. And
not from the poll. I pray it wouldn't do that, but
that's what
probably depending. Well, how will it impact you from, maybe you're voting for her? No, I definitely hope that would not keep you from the poll. But, and I guess depending on what come out, and two, sometimes it just seems like we have two standards here.
Yeah.
When it comes to, and Corey, not talking about you, but I'm just saying, when it comes to male and female.
Yeah.
And to me, right is right, wrong is wrong, regardless of who it is. So, yeah. And, and then we have to be real careful in reference to, because, she's going up against a powerhouse, going against Trump and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like that, if they can find anything, because they're going to look, and if they can find anything, they're going to bring it to the forefront. So I would hope that, for us, as Fulton County residents, that, it would not, you know, that we would look at everything that she's done and right up into the end, just make sure, this is what I tell everybody, make sure, you know, that you go to the poll and make sure who you're voting for. You know, make sure that, you know, they have the same goals and ideals and things that you want, you know, because we got a lot of people out here who going to be running for office and they don't have the same ideals and they don't have the same goals that you want. You know, they may say that, you know, when they're out here running for or campaigning, but you need to be able to read their backgrounds and read what they've done and what they haven't done, you know. So, and then I think at this point in time, so it's still kind of early, but we need to be making a list on who's running, what office they are seeking, and what they believe in. That's what I feel that we should be doing at this point. And so that when the time comes, we don't have a struggle or a hard time when we get to, you know, the polling site and knowing who we're going to vote for. So,
and then it's allegedly at this point. I do want. I want to hear the fallout. You know, I want to hear the facts, and then I'll weigh in whether I think whatever the facts are, whether or the supposed facts, whether that had an impact on her job. So she's accomplished a lot, and unfortunately, you know, they'll dig deep. And even if it was just a brush against the shoulder, you know, that could be considered what they're saying. So, yeah. So I don't look forward to it, but I will review what comes forth and then decide, you know, if she can continue, if I feel like she can continue to represent me. So, yeah, now, it's most unfortunate.
And if we could get her on this platform, is it somebody that y'all would want to hear from?
I'm asking to come on.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And we also
go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Corey. Good.
I just want to say, Fonnie Willis is a excellent DA, excellent prosecutor. Sister Victoria is not alleged; it actually happened, and so.
Oh, okay. They keep saying alleged. That's why I said it.
Oh no,
it actually happened.
Right, it happened, and like she says, so people are human, and the people just have to accept that. And so is she's not married, and so there's the problem is she hired him as a special prosecutor and paid him over $500,000, and so that's what they're trying to make an issue of it is. But you know, that's the underlying issue. It's not even about the
fair
the you having him as prosecutor to prosecute Donald Trump, and they had eyes and ears everywhere, and they they legit have a whole team to just find out everything about her, and so and this just come out, and it's just, and mind you, they dropped this right after he asked for them to dismiss the case, so and the judge denied it.
That's right.
Okay, who asked for it to be dismissed? I'm sorry.
Donald Trump.
The guy that
the Trump team.
His lawyer.
Okay.
Charges to get brought in.
When they say affair, is he married? Is she not married? Is he married?
Well, there's court.
He's divorced.
The court proceedings have been sealed in that case.
Okay.
But he is technically he is divorced.
Right. Well,
he is divorced. Well,
right. Going through a divorce.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He's going through divorce.
Oh, he's going through
divorce. Because I thought it was divorce. That's why they sealed the. That's why they sealed it so that they couldn't go back and look at it. But anyway, so that would be good to bring her on. We also have another person that I know of right now that's seeking office, and her name is Shay Alexander. She's seeking the clerk of court. She took over Tina Robinson's place, and she's the interim clerk of court. And I think there's another person that I'm hearing right now that's running against her. I don't have her name. So, and you know, when you dealing with the clerk of court, now those documents that get sealed from the DA's office, from civil proceedings, the probate, all that go through Fulton County clerk of court.
Superior Court.
Superior Court, clerk of court. That's right. That's exactly right. So, you know, that person, Shay Alexander, she's running. So, you know, we may get her on as well. So, you know, it's going to be a big election year, and I just want us to keep our ears and our eyes open, make notes, write down these names, and you know, and do your homework. We know that Sheriff Labatt is running again. He has a female run against him, Joyce Farmer. And I think she's a sheriff right now that's working, not sheriff, but working in his office. And so those are just some of the offices now that I know of that people are running out of. And you know, if y'all find out more names, then make sure, you know, you share that with us. I think that's all. And well, Commissioner Hall, she's not in our district. She's in commissioner for District 4. That's Atlanta. So she's running, but she's not in our district. So
is it 2 women that's running for sheriff?
Yes, I think at right now the total number of people for sheriff is 5. And there's 2 women out of that group. It's 5. And there's 2 women, and I think 3 men in that group. And I don't really know all the names. So I apologize for that. I have the names the next time we come on.
No, you're good. We can do our own study. I just I saw 2 different women's pictures, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that the same? And I saw that it was 2 different women that were pictured.
Right. So, and I don't know the other young lady's name, but and I'm trying to think if there's any other office.
What else do we gain? What else do we gain today? Like, and we found out this week about from the census, and what else did we gain? Possibly another congressional. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got another congressional seat, Corey. 6. Y'all know that's gonna be our seat. Y'all know them maps that they. Oh, okay, so here's another story, right? Okay, so Judge Jones, federal judge, you know, I think it was Alpha Fraternity and maybe NAACP who filed this suit. So Judge Jones told them to take the maps and they need to come back with I think majority Black. I think it was 5 districts that they needed to come back. 2 in Atlanta, 2 in Macon, and 1 somewhere else. I can't remember. So from these maps, they came back, you know, GOP, they had a special session November 29th, came back with the map. The judge said the maps was a go. So out of that, from that, we gained a congressional district, and that district is 6. Now, Lucy Macbeth is running for that district, and it will be City of South Fulton. We will no longer have Congressional District 13, which used to be David Scott. Well, over this area, he still has 13, but it no longer includes South Fulton. So there's 2 women I know right now that's running for that seat, and it's Lucy Macbeth, and I forget the other lady's name. And so that's another seat we need to, you know, be on the lookout for. And that's correct though, right, Corey, from Lucy Macbeth and District 6. So I don't know who all is running for that seat, but I know it's 2 women in there.
Right, there might be some other people jumping in there and just out. And so it's she got yeah, since they are drawn into that district, you know,
Right.
so.
Mm-hmm. And if you remember, see, Lucy Macbeth, she had, I think she had District 6 before, but it wasn't this area. And then when they redrew the maps, she went into District 7. She ran for that and won. And now she's been drawn back out from that now to District 6 again. But anywho, so that was crazy. But so anywho, that's another seat. And of course, I think District 68, Representative Derek Jackson, that seat is coming back up. And I mean, I guess he's rerunning for that seat. I'm not sure. So, but anywho, that seat will be available. And any more seats that you know? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Miss Brandy. Wait, Miss Brandy, you
So
disappeared. Okay.
Just for clarification, and this is asking a question for understanding. So that ends
Okay.
up putting McBath against David Scott with this redistricting?
No.
Okay.
No. David Scott has his district, which is 13, and Lucy Macbeth would now be running for District 6, which so David Scott, he got zoned out of City of South Fulton. So he no longer has City of South Fulton. Whoever wins District 6 will have City of South Fulton. Does that make sense? Randy?
Yeah,
Does that make sense? Okay.
I have to look at it because it almost sounds like to me that we lost something, or that they.
Well,
So
we gained a seat. So David Scott, his seat now covers other areas, you know, and the City of South Fulton. No, we didn't lose anything. We gained a seat. So now instead of having one congressional seat, we have two.
I guess I'm saying whether you're Democrat or Republican, it sounds like something was lost there to make it harder for one party that normally would have retained that seat or normally would have held that seat. It's now, it seems like it would make it harder if I'm saying it without saying it.
No, you're absolutely correct. What you're saying is they basically drew him out of district so he can lose.
Right, because now, yeah, you talking about so David Scott can lose.
Right.
So right, because he now is I think he's Jonesboro, Gwinnett, Cobb, and so that would be Clayton County for Jonesboro. And I don't remember some of his other district, but that's exactly what the quote unquote the conversation is that with the people where they put these extra seats or what have you, because I think they gained District 64 back in Douglasville. So it's like they're putting people in areas where they have to run against a Republican. And it's in an area where the Republicans already have favor. So you're absolutely correct.
Well, let's say this.
And
they make a more competitive process.
Right.
PC.
Right. Yes. And I think now, if I'm not mistaken, I found out more about this about Senator Donzella James, I think, and Representative Roger Bruce. I think their areas were affected as well. And I think they've been moved further out of the City of South Fulton and further towards some of those counties like Cobb County or wherever, where the challenge or the competitiveness is it's going to be a challenge.
Okay, but what's the reason? What's the reason for even doing that if they typically already have their area
power control?
Yes, they already have control in their area. What's
because
the gist to even?
Well, the judge told them to, to have more of a minority more minority controlled districts. And they felt that with what they did, it gave us a majority. And right now, it seems like, okay, yeah, we might have the majority of the district. But when it comes time to run for that seat again, it's going to be very challenging. So, I was hoping
right, because
judge,
because that would mean that most of the majority is not in that district anyway.
That's exactly correct.
In order to vote a minority into a seat.
That's right.
So to me, it's
right.
it makes no sense. And it seems like it's another tactic just to say, hey, we're opening, a seat for a minority, to represent. Right. But it's not going to benefit the person in the seat if the district is not or does not have a minorities.
That's right. That's right. That's the same thing I was saying. And I was hoping that the judge would not approve the maps and that he would, have his own special person to come in, and just like they did in Alabama. Alabama went through the same thing. And the judge hired, he did not approve the GOP recommended map. He hired his own special master. And so, but here in Georgia, that's not what happened. And that judge is a President Obama picked judge. But it seems like every time we have something that goes before this judge, it never gets passed. It never gets passed. And these are appointed judges, so we can't vote on them. Can't vote on them.
Well, I have a question. Someone that is running for office, or maybe was running for office, said that Roger Bruce will be retiring this year. Has anybody heard that?
That's correct. I heard the same talk, that he said that he would not reseat his seat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, we had to wait till, I always say, wait till we see the names. Right, but that's what he said, because that's what he said. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So he wants to spend time with his grandchildren or his granddaughter, and and I think he might have some health challenges. So, but that's what he said.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything else on the minds of our people?
One more question.
Mm-hmm.
When they're doing this, has it been brought up to also look at the population for those districts, to say, okay, yeah, they have, to see if it's even an even kill, to where it would be beneficial?
It's an even kill. It's an even kill when you talk about numbers, population, because I think we have like 11 million people in the state of Georgia, and they divide that up like 60,000. Each district has about 60,000 people, so it's divided up equally in numbers. Maybe. Now, I'm not talking about equally in
I'm
minority
talking about in minorities, and that's what I'm saying. They won't even. That hasn't been brought up during this process to say, hey, it needs to, be a reason, or, well, not a reason, but an opportunity for a minority that's going to be running in a predominantly other, I don't want to say denomination, but you know what I'm saying, race.
I know what you mean, race.
Where they just automatically say, draw those lines to who will be able to be moved into that particular district that may not be beneficial.
Right. Well, they could go, all day back and forth doing that. But who the right person to bring on for this kind of stuff right here? These are our legislators. These are the people who we voted in office. We need to hear from these people. What are y'all doing, or what was said, what was done? I listened at some of the, I went down one day to the Capitol, and too much wasn't going on that day. That was November the 29th. And you know, then sometimes I try to catch it online. But we need to hear from our elected officials. Come on here and explain to us and answer some of these questions. So no worries. We'll try to get them on so that we can ask them these questions. Mm-hmm.
This is what I didn't know. So I mentioned to someone that my former neighborhood had David Scott to come and speak at a community meeting. And I'm only bringing this up because wondering, he came. And they were like, right, they were like, but that's like, you know, that really shouldn't have been done. Or, you know, like he would come all the way down to a neighborhood, I guess maybe an area. So I guess we have to keep that in mind too. But yeah, he did. He came. He showed up.
Now, why would they say that shouldn't have been done? They are our elected officials. And we need to hear from them.
I want to say maybe it should have been where a lot like that was too micro. Maybe it should have been like a larger area, or you know, like a larger area, like more areas were involved rather than come all the way down to a micro community.
Right. Well,
so I just want us to keep that in mind too.
Okay.
Okay.
There. I hear you. I hear you. But we got to start somewhere. So, you know,
that's right.
Get them to the small and then build it up. Say, oh yeah, well he came here, so you know, maybe we can have something a little larger and he can come there. So I think that's something to consider. I'm happy he came.
Yeah, he did. He came, and the person couldn't believe that he came. Because it's like, whoa, get all the way down to a micro, you know, like all the way down to a community, you know, versus an area, I would say.
Right.
You know, I guess like if you saw him at the job fair that he has every year, you know, that's several areas that are impacted versus just one community. So just something to consider. I'm saying you can't try.
You can always,
and Senator Jay. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
I'm just saying you can always email him and ask him the questions and come. You'll be surprised at what so his
and he came.
Heads of his Georgia administration, his name is Dylan.
Yeah, I think Okay, well, good. And Senator James, I mean, you know, she comes out to different things. So she was at the city council meeting last week. Oh, because she wanted to protest one of the I think it was a somebody wanted an Airbnb in the neighborhood she was in, and they had several issues going on in that neighborhood. So she came down to voice her opinion because she'd been living over there for 50 years. And so, you know, and at those city council meetings, you able to get up and speak, you know, either for or against the developer or either the whoever's asking for the permit. So, okay, well, very good.
Was she heard?
Yes, she was.
Was she
was
heard?
And yes.
Okay.
Yes. She was heard, and so was the other people who was against the Airbnb, and some other issues had happened. You know, like some trespassing on people's property, and you know, blocking people's yards, and you know, gun fire shots and all this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, she was heard, and other people were heard as well. So that was good.
Awesome.
Okay. Corey, you have anything else?
No, I'm just gonna say that, you know, I'm glad for 2024. And for anybody on there who thinks that, you know, I know this world can be overwhelming. I know a lot of things can be overwhelming. And it is okay if you go talk to somebody about that, because, you know, you can't talk to real friends. And so, you know, and some people you don't want to burden other folks with your issues, but it is okay to go do that. And so you never come out of it. And so it's but just be on the better track for a better you. This is another calendar year, but when your birthday is your new year. So, you know, just work, take day by day, little step by step. As
Oh, happy belated birthday! Did we say that, Corey? Your birthday was December 27th, wasn't
it was December 27th.
it?
Happy
Okay, well,
belated
happy belated birthday.
I appreciate
Happy
it.
belated.
I'm still accepting gifts all the way up to tax season. So look here.
Oh, and you like to eat, so maybe you need to coordinate something.
Y'all talking about food. And I'm looking at a plate because I don't want to be smacking. And so, you know,
Okay.
but however, is just, you know, just understand something. Is never too late or never a new day that you get that you can, you know, start over. It says that's why I say it's the best day of my life, because you can make today better than yesterday, and you're still present. Your presence is your present. And gift, you know what I mean? It says your gifts for you, not for nobody else, for you. And so is just do the things that are necessary in what you call to just step into your light. That's all I have to say, and that's my 5.
Well, thank you. And thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. I thought this was very informative and a good meeting. So thank y'all for taking time out on Martin Luther King Jr. Special day and all that he's done for us and our freedom. So thank y'all for taking time out, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Right. Thank you, Jane, for hosting. Give it up for Jane.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thank you. See y'all next
Great
week.
job, Jane.
Thank you.
And if it's
See
Monday,
y'all next. See y'all next Monday.
See you, Ms.
Absolutely. Okay. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.